why you need to consider starting a podcast. Hello, me again, John, Marketing for Owners, the podcast. Yeah, remember that from the title? So what do I do? Oh, well, you remember the 4-hour work week? Have you ever read that? Thought that was pretty good, but afterwards you think, 4 hours? Well, hey, I've met Tim Ferriss. I shared a cab with him once. Really nice guy, genuine guy. He doesn't work 4 hours. He says he could do if he wanted to, but he chooses not to because he likes what he does. And it was not his idea for the title. He hated it, by the way. Just saying. But sold a few books. Hey, did you okay, didn't it, Tim? But in reality, for the rest of us, we're not going to work 4 hours. Do not believe the hype, people. However, what I do is I show you how not to work 60 hours. I show you how to reorganize and how to build your business in a way that enables you to do everything, but to only work 20 hours. Or, well, you could work 25, you can work 15, it's up to you. But I think 20 hours is a fair one, don't you think? I show you how to get your weekends back, how to win back your time, how to be able to spend time with your kids when you want without having to get your iPhone out, without saying when I finish this, or without saying, without pretending you can do that at the same time as you got your laptop open. That's what it's all about. And if you want to know how that is done, you will need to join. Yes, I'm afraid you're going to have to dip in your pocket and pay me some money. It's not a lot though. You will have to go and join the Owners Club at theownersclub.co. And this is the Owners Club Gold level where the good stuff happens. There is a free level, but I'll let you into a secret. All the good stuff is in the paid one. I'll let you into another secret. It's the same in anybody's free stuff. All the good stuff will be in their paid one. Yeah, all this stuff, running this, having a podcast, having a, what do you call it, a website with everything, all the bells and whistles and all the hosting and everything that goes with it actually costs money, so I have to refund it in some way. Now, unlike others though, I'm going to tell you how much it costs. It costs £29 per month. In US dollars, that's about $35 US a month. It renews every 30 days, no contract, you can start, come, go, as you please. It has a full 100% money back guarantee. If you don't like it, I personally will give you your money back straight away. There you go, end of the sales pitch. But that's what I do. That's what all this is about. The whole point is to make your life easier. Business does not have to be as hard as it sounds, or not as hard as it sounds, as hard as it seems once you start it. And believe me, the reason I got grey hair is because I've been doing this for 33 years. 33 years, eh? Imagine. And I've always worked for me. And I do okay. It took me about 20 something years to figure it out. Second time I started my business, it was all sorted in 2, right? 20 years, not so good. 2, yay. Anyway, so what are we talking about? We're talking about the podcast. This is 2017 when I'm recording this. The reason you need a podcast, now you don't have to have one, however, it is easy. It is easier than you think to create a podcast. This is the funny thing. A lot of people think it would be quite technical. I did when I first started. It's one of those ones that once you've actually put a podcast out onto iTunes, that you go, oh, was that it? It is that simple. Once you've set it up, iTunes just finds it, as long as you keep recording them. So, why would you want to do it? But because of the reach. I have members of the Owners Club from Japan, from had clients from Alaska. I've had emails and messages from Sweden, people from South Africa, from all sorts of countries, from Australia, from all sorts of countries, all over the world. And that is because they found my podcast. I've always been amazed. I thought, how on earth did they find me? And it's more often through my podcast than through the website. And Why is that? I don't know, but it's free. It doesn't cost me anything to put it out there. I do actually host the thing, but I use Rainmaker. That's all a complicated thing because you don't need all that. You can go to Libsyn. Libsyn have hosting programs, I think, starting at like $5 a month or something, which is plenty for the beginner. Now, the other thing is, whatever you put out on a podcast, it's there for eternity. It's like Netflix. It's on demand. So you can call it repeats. Someone can go and find my podcast tomorrow and they can go and listen to episode 1. They can listen to episode 600. It doesn't matter. They can go to the start. They can find all of them. They're all there forever until I take them down. It's there for eternity. So now I've got 600. There's 600 more chances of people finding my podcasts. And if I do say so myself, I think they're pretty good. The other one is, why would you do it? Because someone else in your little trade or industry is going to beat you to it. And you're going to be really annoyed when they are doing it and you say to everyone, I was going to do that. Ever had that happen to you? Because I certainly have. Hey, John on fire. Entrepreneur on fire. Yeah. I had a whole business set up based on the thing of John on fire. Everything else, Entrepreneur on Fire came along a little bit after, but just ran and sprinted out the door. I just didn't even bother. So there you go. You've got to get in there with the opportunity. Now, I'm recording this in Canada, by a duck pond, out in the freezing cold. Is my nose red? Fingers are certainly cold. So what have I got? I've got a tripod. Right, this tripod I bought on Amazon. It stretches to 6 foot, and it has it stretches to 6 foot, so it stands up while I'm standing up. So that's pretty good. It cost about $20. It's actually a Polaroid. If you look up a Polaroid, I mean, there's loads of them. They're all the same. It's just I just happen to know this one was Polaroid. They all look the same. Get one of those, are about 20 odd things. I'm using my iPhone. It has a little lavalier microphone. Let me just unclip. See that thing? And it's got an extra, by the way, for in the wind, extra tip. Put a second one of these on top, and then it cuts out all the wind noise. So that gives you better sound, and that's how I get quality sound. I know you professionals thinking, oh, it's not like a studio, but hey, this is quality sound. And this thing is, are they $50, $60? There are lower price ones. Make sure they are compatible with your iPhone because they have funny things. And this is simply on a lead going into it, and that's it. Oh, and a holder, for the iPhone. And they, again, get them on Amazon. They are so cheap. That is all you need, my friend. It is as simple as that. And then you can be off on podcasting. What you do, the way this works, by the way, you have to have a website. If you haven't got a website that's with WordPress, then you're just missing out. Just go away, get yourself a website. Join the Owners Club, by the way. It's got WordPress or Website 101, shows you how to set it up. Dead easy. But once you do that, you can put a plugin on your website, which will usually be free, and then you upload your podcast. It's an MP3 file, which is the same as uploading a photo to Facebook or something like that. It's just camera to that. Simple. And then there's a thing called a feed. It will give it to you on a website. It will say, just paste this into iTunes. iTunes, a couple of days later, say, or actually a day later, go, yeah, sorted. And then that's it. Your podcast is live. No charge. Apple do not charge you anything. It is free, and it's just there. And every time you put up a new episode on your website, Apple is constantly looking to see if you got new episodes, and it sees it and finds it, and it's there. You don't upload anything ever again. And it's the same. You put it onto Stitcher, onto SoundCloud, or whatever. You don't do anything ever again. It just does it. That is why you should do it, because it's there, because it's free, because it's easy, and because podcasts are radio on demand, and cars are becoming podcast enabled. They're getting Apple Play, Android this, and whatever else there is. they're enabled and people will just consume more podcasts. That's why. Do it. Anyway, end of the lecture. It is Thursday, so it's time for a drive time podcast recommendation. This is really good. It's been around for a long time. It's called Beancast. Just look up the Beancast one. It is by Bob Knorp. I'm not sure. I'm not even going to try and spell it. Well, it's actually Knorpp. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is extremely good. It's a chat one. Really, really good. You'll like it. Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow is great. We've got a guy called Ian Paget who's of Logo Geek. Really, really great story. He is like us, everyone. He came from nothing. He's accidentally built a business he didn't realize he was trying to buy. He's still amazed people pay him, and he explains how it happened. Isn't that what we all want to hear? Anyway, I recommend it. You'll enjoy. Speak to you soon.